G'day everyone. Proud to say Barkarati is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. First off, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
As they say in the classic Letterkenny, pew, pitter patter, good to be back.
Pew, pew, pitter patter. Yes.
Oh my God, having a week off, it's just, it doesn't work for me.
That's so much fun, that show. Let's bring in the other bloke.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Well, yes, one, good to be back. Two, this is some great podcast material. You got yourself a new hat, BP.
I have. It's a Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron hat.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
Well, it's not new, actually. Actually, it's not
floating
new.
down the harbour?
No, I rocked up at an event a while ago and I didn't have a hat and I went, oh. And I knew where I was and I got,
I'll spend $98 on a hat. Good on me.
She's a solid 50, I can tell you.
Is that right?
Yeah,
wow.
It's a nice hat. It's a nice hat. I took it.
It was a busy weekend last weekend, boys. We all had stuff on. So, we'll chat a little bit about it after our stunning interview with our guest this week.
Well, it's all about something that we live for, and that's events.
100%. We live for events, we live for grassroots, and live for basically what you're about to intro us into, Jordan Spencer.
That's right, Jordan Spencer. One Sport and Gencer.
Sport and Gencer.
Oh, fair.
You idiot.
Gencer.
Oh, dear. If we ever do a patron, mate, everyone's going to be pissing themselves, the shit that we talk about. Okay, no. So, obviously, Barkarati, there's a lot of things that we want to focus in on, and everything is important in our sport. You know, everyone puts in time and everyone gives. And we had a major event in our hometown, basically where all three of us come from.
Huge
event. The ILCA World Champs.
Well, still going.
Masters are on. Fantastic result. But so one of the things that sort of was front of mind for us is that the club that was running the ILCA World Champs is Adelaide Sailing Club, which is, you know, it's like a typical Aussie beach sailing club, you know, like it's a modern one. It's new, but it's, you know,
it's a volunteer-run club.
Volunteer-run club, you know. It's all.
It's got a picture of you above, and it's got a picture of you above the front bar.
Not
no the toilet, mate.
Probably 95% of the yacht clubs in Australia.
Yeah,
that may or may not be right, or wrong for that matter, but that wouldn't be far off.
Yeah, no.
It's just a local club, realistically, run by a bunch of volunteers.
And so running a major world regatta like the ILCAs have become, and, you know, it's an Olympic class and all the associated finaffling and stuff that goes on with it. We wondered what it was like and how it worked and if it was tough. And the Commodore of that club is a long-time mate of all three of us, a long-time competitor, sailing racer, and, you know, he's one of those blokes that's just rolled up his shirt sleeves and he's given back to it. So we thought we'll get him on the show to talk about everything, and then, you know, just talk about what it's like. And, you know, if you're a small club thinking, can we do this, then I thought this could be valuable, you know, and if you're a competitor going to a club, it gives some understanding of what everyone's put into it. So I'd like to welcome to the show Pete Royle. Pete, how tired are you, mate?
I'm getting pretty over it, to be honest. But
only a month to go, buddy.
No, only a week or so to go. No, look, we're nearly there now. It has been quite a long journey. We thought this regatta would start on the 1st of January when the Nationals and Oceanias started, but it really started in early December when we had our first little micro regatta, and the teams had been here training, you know, all through that up to Christmas. So, you know, we set up the place to start in sort of, you know, late December, but we really started in, you know, early December, and off we went. So it's been epic. It's just been epic.
Started a long time before that, but I've got the burning question. Have you been wearing your whites since then? Every single day?
Thanks, Nick. No, not every day. I haven't even pulled my funny hat out. But and we've had the governor here, and I did have a shave that day. How's that sound? I actually had a clean shave rather than just the buzz over the top. But no, it's all going well. I haven't been wearing the whites. I wear my blazer respectively out of respect on opening and closings. But that's all good. It's pretty casual. You know the drill down here. We don't, I had a guy come in the office the other day. Do we wear our hats in this club? And he's talking to me and I'm wearing a hat. So what do you reckon, Chief?
This is a figment of your imagination. This isn't real.
Quick question, mate. You've had a huge number of laser sailors at the club since sort of mid to early December, and we're into February. Has the bar bill earned anywhere near day one of a Sharpie regatta?
Not even close. No,
I was gonna go down that path. This is an elite sporting event. I didn't think the bar would be that busy.
Bananas and Gatorade is the go.
Oh, is it?
No, to be fair, we've not question answered. No, not a lot. It hasn't smashed the records. We do have a mountain of beer on supply for the Masters.
That's a given.
We're contracted to give them a beer after every race, or one person per beer per race day. So we've got 60 or 70 cartons of beer stacked up somewhere around here that will go towards that. So
I heard Andy Dyer wants all his for the whole regatta one night.
Andy's out working in the boat shed at the moment. He's doing it's measuring day today, measuring a reg. So he's out there this morning doing all that.
He's not working doing measuring.
No, true.
He's putting his beer in a little stockpile.
I was going to say he'll earn it. He's walking around with that very I'm busy look with the clipboard. So I think he learnt that from Robbie Doosan or Kempy.
Has he got a steel rule? Has he got a steel rule with him? Because that's Bicey's technique.
No, okay. No, I don't think so. He's got a clipboard and a pen and a stern look on his face.
Next thing you know, you just got to get him to put a hat on and put a pencil in his hat and then carry a steel rule around. And then there you go.
Okay.
All right. The most important question, where's my photo?
Your photo? Which photo is that?
The one above the bar.
The one that had all the lights.
I think it was in the darkest corner.
Yeah, it's actually in the downstairs bar now. So you haven't been. It did get close to the bin, Jordan, but we did retrieve it out of a modicum of respect. No, I'm very sure it's here somewhere. It's if it's not above the bar, it'll be above the downstairs bar. So that project's now finished. So we're putting those old, tired old photos back up.
And despite it only being a 2D photo, they still couldn't fit your head in the bin, mate.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Hey,
come on.
Let's get into the serious stuff. So this is amazing.
Oh, I thought we had.
Yeah, big regatta. The ILCAs, lasers, the whole thing. Like organising it for a club like you, for Adelaide Sailing Club, which is a volunteer-led club, let's be honest.
Correct.
How do you go about it? Because it's a massive event, and I'm just intrigued how you can put it all off. Like, how many people did you have to fly in for World Sailing? How much money did it cost you? Is it doable? Was it scary? Did you have any chance?
It's still scary. I'm not sleeping that well, and I'm certainly not eating that well, although my waistline doesn't show that. But the whole process started nearly 3 years ago. Sponsored by ILCA weight loss program. So it started 3 years ago when we got the opportunity to do it, and it was based on the fact that the Nationals were back in South Australia, right? So here come the Nationals. It was Australia's Southern Hemisphere and Australia's turn to host a Worlds. Well, why wouldn't you do them together or close to each other? And then, of course, along comes the Masters World. So they've freighted in 160 boats. Well, they want to get the bang for the buck and recharter them or charter them as many as possible twice.
Yep.
So, it went from one regatta to two pretty quickly, and that's all very doable. But then the Masters kicked in. So, back then, we approached the state government about funding and major events and all that kind of stuff, Events SA, and they've been really, really good, really helpful. We even went back to them for a little bit of an increase because of cost of living and change of prices and all that fun stuff. So they've been more than generous and a great backbone sponsor, I suppose. all the volunteers, again, 3 years ago, we sat down and thought, how the hell are we going to do this? Yeah. Money's one thing, but people are another. So since then, and even before then, we've been quite cognizant or consciously trying to bring in new volunteers, implementing systems like Boy Zone and stuff like that make course setting far more easy and no longer a witchcraft. Yes. Make it easy for everybody, and shifting people around, just attracting new volunteers and giving them the opportunity to do different things. We've got 5 or 6 race officers here at this club. Malcolm hasn't run a race for probably 2 years now, a club race, because we've got enough people who've done the training and have done the experience and done the, with the backing and mentorship by Malcolm, for example. So we're really well off in that space. So it's been a long process to build and attract those volunteers. The other thing I want to touch on volunteer-wise, it's not just our club. This is a whole state thing, and it has been from the get-go. We've got volunteers from other clubs. We've got equipment from other clubs as far away as Port Lincoln and Goolwa, and they've loaned us boats and resources and stuff. So this has always been about the state and the sport. It's not about Adelaide Sailing Club. We are the host. We're the right people to do it, and we've got the space to do it, because this is a huge, massive, 270 odd lasers, or 300, I think, on the front lawn is a big ask. But so we're set up to do it, but we've worked very hard for quite a few years to try and get the right people. And we're still, and we've got a massive database of about 130 odd volunteers, and that's just a whole project in itself, just volunteer management. Scheduling them, giving them make sure they had the right training, make sure they've got the right equipment on the day. Are they on water? Are they off water? 18,000 sandwiches, you name it.
What about the sausage sizzlers? Did you get a good going there?
We had a sausage sizzle on Australia Day. We thought that was pretty appropriate.
Oh, yeah?
So we had the sausage sizzle then. We haven't done a sausage sizzle since. We do need sausage sizzlers. We'll be doing some of that.
It's a big department, isn't it?
It is. It's a huge. But we've got. Look, it takes a volunteer, in this instance, a Navy, to pull this off. We've got that lovely walkway in front of the club. You've got 150 lasers going over the pathway, the common pathway. We actually need traffic management for bicycles. We need bicycle racks. There's been 30, 40, 50 dogs and shit. It's been
dogs and shit.
Yeah. Just think of a big regatta and then just multiply it, really. This has all been about it's all about volume. It's just all about volume. Everything is big. And it's numbers big, not boats big, but numbers big.
Can I say though, from an external, because I'm obviously not in South Australia, the footage and the everything that's been going on around it has been supreme. It's been beautiful conditions as well.
Oh, we've been absolutely blessed with the weather. I mean, there are many, many risks when you sit down and do a risk assessment. Where can we fail? Where can we go wrong? One of the risks being in South Australia is a freaking heat wave, and we haven't had one, which is really good. We've had really good sea breezes. We had some funky weather back in early December when we had a day that was rained out. Well, who would have thought that? And that just killed the breeze. But every day since has been just golden weather, and I'm not, I don't know if I haven't certainly run over a black cat, and I'll be looking out for one, because I don't want to do that. We're looking good. Even this week's forecast for the Masters is looking good.
Awesome.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because everyone knows you get to a big regatta, and you should have been here last week, and you've been.
It's not normally like this,
no, but it was perfect. So you've got predominantly classic South Australian sea breeze conditions.
We have had, just building breezes. I'm sitting here looking at the water now, and it's around to the northeast actually. So I better be careful what I say, but. Yeah. It's going to be another sea breeze day. We had another 20 to 25 yesterday.
There you go.
The Masters were rolling in yesterday, and I said, "Oh, glad you're here today. You better go out for a sail, because tomorrow's going to be windy." And they're looking at you going, "What?"
It's true. It's true. Like South Australian wind hits hard. It does.
It does.
And great swells. 26 degrees during the day, and then if it is a light northeasterly in the morning, it's going to go round at some stage.
Yeah, we got a 28er today, and I don't look deliberately or too long at the forecast, because you can't control it. You just got to deal with it. But it's not a race day today. Practice tomorrow and kick off on Sunday with these guys. And it all should go really, really well. We've been blessed, and the problems we've had are very small and inconsequential, really. So everything's gone to plan.
Do you reckon, like just those pre-regattas helped iron out quite a bit of stuff?
Yeah, we did a bit of that, Nick. We actually put our hand up for the Australian Masters Games back in October. Now, a normal club would go, "You're kidding me," but we actually, and it was a pretty low-key event and low numbers, but that was all about testing our systems and processes, and it worked. Albeit the weather, and that was a bit sketchy. I was actually sailing myself, but that was a bit sketchy. It's only a 3-day event, but it was just a practice. And then we had the ILCA Down Under regatta in early December. We had 30 or 40 for that. Teams were here, sailing in that and stuff like that. So again, that was another test. And there's stuff that you don't do at this level until you start it, if that makes sense. The ROMs, the online, all the online checkout, all the online, everything's online. There's not a protest form you can go and get from the office. It's all online. You can do it on your phone. You can go to the race office and do it on an iPad. All those things don't happen until the real events kick off. Yeah. But that's part of the legacy of this event, is how this is how you do things at this level. Now, a lot of that stuff has been brought to us. We haven't invented this. It's a well-worn path globally.
But you still need to execute it, Royle.
Absolutely, you do. But it's been great for other clubs and other people to see, shit, wow, this is cool. This is how you can do it. Now, we're not going to have an online protest form for next Saturday's club sailing, but you just see what happens at a high level at this global level. And last week, what days? I don't know what today. Earlier this week, Wednesday, when we finished the men's worlds. Yeah,
when we finished the
men's worlds. It's only 2 days ago. There you go. I've forgotten. To run a medal race, and I was like an expectant father. I was pacing around like no tomorrow. I wasn't on the water, but here's the world's best sailors. Here's in the class. Here's the world's best. Race officer and jury, and like the whole world's watching this medal race. It's the first time the class has done a medal race at a Worlds.
Which is a huge point.
Yep.
And there's our volunteers laying the marks. Yep. And they just, holy crap, we just can't get this wrong. And we didn't, because we've had all this training, we've had all this practice, we've had all the, the pre-regattas, and it was the last day of the men's worlds. We can drop a mark on a dime. And that's what we had to do, and that's what we executed, and therefore it worked perfectly. And which of course, a good result.
Which leads to the warm and fuzzies. Have you had much feedback? Obviously, the international sailors come here, and we turned on the weather, and it seems like you turned on the event. So you must have had some warm fuzzies.
Yeah, we have, and you touched on the coverage. The coverage has been exceptional, and I thank Down Under, the team from Down Under, for doing that. Don't want to pump Harry's head up too much either, but it's been really good. Yeah. They actually had cameras in the water on one day. And they focused really hard and did extra miles for us on the medal race day. So that's been really, really good. But the feedback has been really good. It's been a well-run regatta. You're blessed with our lawn area. These guys travel around the world. Going back to the Olympic guys, they travel around the world. They get to rig up in car parks, gravel pits on beaches. They just kind of get shoved around. But when we've got God knows how many acres of, not enough right now because it's just chockers again, but of grassed area and a beach that's, arguably private, and a tiny little harbour where we keep our coach boats and support boats. It's just worked out really well. And the course area, where's the course area? They came and said, well, it's just there, mate. See that mark over there? It's just there. Oh, really? We don't have to go out. Clearly, you don't have to go through a shipping channel. But again, we're really lucky with what we've got here, and it's, I just have to stand back every now and then and go, holy crap, this is good.
It's paradise, isn't it?
It really is.
Smell the roses a little bit. And just saying. No, it's been good at the moment. But Royle, I haven't told you about this, but I was down a couple of days when I saw you, but spent a bit of time with Mark Robinson, just having a coffee, who leads, former guest of the show, leads the GB Olympic team.
Oh, yeah.
Over the moon with the facilities. And now specifically with the way that the downstairs rolls out into the grass area, it's a bloody good place to be.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
and again, we're that's a self-funded project by the club. It wasn't done for this event, but gee whiz, I took a picture of everyone watching the big screen in there, watching the medal race the other day. It's just worked out really well. Cool. Timing's everything. We got that right. It's all what can I say? And feedback again. We've had sailors. I've sailed all around the world. I've swallowed 6 litres today of water, and I've still got a smile on my face. And just epic conditions and epic sailing, and watching these guys handle their boats is just another world.
And obviously we got the correct result.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was good. And they're just nice
more about
guys,
that later.
Yeah, they're really good guys. All of those internationals, they're friendly, they're helpful. There's no precious people in that fleet. They're all just good. They're just helpful. Yeah, really, really nice to work with.
I've got 2 critical questions for you, Pete. The first one: what are the benefits to your club, all the energy your volunteers gave and you gave and the team? What do you see the benefits?
The benefits, I think, are the long-lasting reputation of this club. We pride ourselves on hosting big events, and we've done many in the past. We haven't done a world-level event for quite a while, so this has really, plonked us back up there. We've got the 505 Worlds in conjunction with Henley in a year's time. So what are they? I have no idea. Funny little double-handed thing. In fact, I dialed into a meeting last night with the organising committee. My brain's not going there, and I won't be Commodore by then. But I'm not going to walk away from an event like that either. So they're the things. People will walk away with the memory of this event and the location and the T-shirt and all that kind of stuff. And people go, "Oh, you went to that one? How did that go? It was great." And you can't quantify that. You can't monetize that in terms of legacy for the sport and the club.
Free promotion.
Yeah, it's great promotion for the club and the sport. I remember the conversation with the government. We've never given your sport so much money before, and that's a great comment to have, because for me that's a challenge. We'll come back knocking on your door. We still have to deliver the goods for them. We've got reports to write and show them the value of their investment with us. But I think we're in a good spot. And the other one clearly is the volunteers. We've brought the level. We've shown other clubs and other people and other classes and right across the state how to do things. It's not a look at us, we're great. It's just, this is a world level event. We've operated at a world level. Take that back. Take a fraction of that back to your club, and your club's going to be better. Cool. So that's the legacy.
And something I actually picked up on down there, just having a chat in the RAA tent with some of the volunteers, the amount of pride the volunteers had, and as you mentioned before, specifically the Adelaide Sailing Club volunteers, but then also extended to the state, people around the state who just came down and volunteered. I think, what was the number? 80 volunteers or something?
Yeah, it's around about 80 a day. Yeah. We'll go back up again for this regatta because we're back to 2 course areas. And that's just a simple thing, 2 course areas. We've got the space to do that. We're the only club with a huge amount of support from other clubs to be able to pull that off. You go to any other ILCA Nationals and it's a 1 course race. We can provide 2. Why wouldn't we provide 2 if we can? More racing, 30, more bang for your park.
You've got plenty of water in front.
But you're right, Bicey, the pride, the value that, people are wearing their volunteer T-shirts with pride and they're just so pleased to be part of it. It's just an eye-opener. It's amazing.
Yeah. Royle, you touched on the government a second ago, how how they sort of stumped up and got involved, which is always a tough ask in any sport. It doesn't matter what sport you are. Do you think that this has opened their eyes a little bit, because the government and people in government is a forever changing sphere? It's like things get forgotten. So old mate moves on, retires to his pension, and then another person comes in. Is that something that you think has made potentially a longer lasting effect? Is the size of this event, the output of this event, and what it has produced for the state?
Yeah, absolutely. The other legacy is the bridges we've built and the relationships we now have with not just the government, but some high level sponsors and others. Let's just call them local stakeholders. But we've now got a template of how to do that, and we've also got a template. We've got those relationships. So again, the 505 meeting last night. Oh, when can we go and talk to the government about funding? Well, let's just take a deep breath. You're not going into the government without me, because I've got the contact, or I've got the context, and I don't want to do your job for you, but let me introduce you, let me guide you through that, because we've been through that. This is how you do it, and you might get a knockback, or whatever. But you don't just bowl into people and say, "Hey, we got a great regatta coming up. Give us some cash." Exactly. It's got to be a bit more strategic than that, and we've really learnt that as well. But again, the stakeholders, the people we brought along. I will circle back to all of our sponsors and say, how was that for you? Because we really need to make sure we give back. Taking is so easy. Giving is critical. You've just got to give that back for them. So they do go, you know what? We will throw some money at the 505s, because that was what you just did was awesome. So why wouldn't we do that again? So, yeah, a stakeholder, the relationships we've built have been invaluable.
I know you got to get to a meeting. How long you got before you have to go, Pete?
Oh, look, I was just pretending I had a meeting so I can get out of stop talking to you clowns. But no one's bugging me just yet, so I'm all good.
All right. So here's a question for you, mate. You're a lifelong competitive sailor, right?
I'll try.
You try. But on the water there, you've got all these guys that sail full time, coached by the best, the whole thing. As a competitive sailor watching, did you see anything where you just went, oh wow, did you get to any of that chance, or you were just too busy?
I've been on the finish boat, so the time I've been spending on the water has been on the finish boat. And Malcolm is old, not old and wise. Malcolm is incredibly wise. He said you can redo a start, but you can't redo a finish.
Right.
And so I've been putting myself on a finish boat to do my best to make sure that all our scoring, or the scoring that I can offer, has been as accurate as possible. When you've got 50 boat fleets coming through within 4 minutes, your head
with big numbers.
Yeah, you only do the last 4 digits.
It's not like it's AUS 01 and AUS 04.
Yeah, it's not 12, and we had no bow numbers. Anyway, you train yourself to do that. But where was I going with that thought?
I'm intrigued.
Watching them on the water. Yeah. So in the men's worlds, we had a couple of really big days, and being on the finish boat and the course structure that they require is a reach to the finish from the outer gate on the trap.
Yep.
So they were, when we had the 25, 30 knot day, they were just smoking along there, and to see how well they handle their boat and watching them at a distance downwind as well. But these guys are just phenomenal boat handlers. Jibing in 20 knots or 25 knots is just like breathing in or breathing out to them. Yeah. They'll just flip a jibe. For a better wave pattern, they'll flip a jibe, obviously, because if you're lifting on one, you want to be on the knot. They just handle the boats like it's breathing. That's impressive. And watching them on that reach coming towards the finish line at a gazillion miles an hour, it was just when I had the chance to absorb what I was watching rather than what the hell was that number. They were on the ragged edge. They were working, and they'd just done a 45-minute race in that many knots, and wow, they're just staggering. So did I learn anything? Probably learned not to sail a laser. I'll get to my
in this fleet
to my OK dinghy, but and just be a participant because I love the sport. But yeah, they're just incredible to watch. The discipline, the skill, even seriously, the back of the middle of the bronze fleet is still wow. You got to be good. You just got to be good. So at the front of the gold fleet, you have to be superhuman.
Superhuman.
Just incredible. I mean, they are. They flat body hike the whole time. They're just incredible. Anyway.
BP just said Wernie superhuman like that. If you look at the highlight from that medal race, just watching Wernie come off the line there, it was insane. He's just got his speed to burn. It's like, you can buy those little props for wing falling now, where you can just do the little batteries with a little propeller.
Yeah.
I think he's got one underneath his boat. Do you check for that?
No, I'll leave that to the measurers. Well, actually, they don't have measurers. They have inspectors, because all these boats are identical. So here's an important sort of, not a note, but you and me and others, particularly my age and stage in my OK dinghy, if I'm out in 25, 30 knots and I get hit by a hard one, I keep the bow up, right? I let the air on and air off of the sail. I feather. these guys put the bow down.
Yeah,
right? A puff for them is an opportunity to go a fraction of a knot faster than the other blokes. So they actually put the bow down. Yeah. They put the bow down and they work harder and they go faster. It's just amazing. What the hell?
Are you coming up for the OK Worlds in Brisbane?
Yeah, I am. Yep. That's my next holiday. It was my I wanted to just get away and just disconnect and just be a punter and have a beer and have a laugh. I haven't sailed my OK since November, I don't think. Wow. So she'll be right.
You better be careful. They're at the Palace, mate, at Drummoyne Sailing Club. They're out every day.
Are they? Yeah, no, I'll get smacked. We got 105 odd boats. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's the pro end of it. They're way too serious over that side of the country, BP. Well, it's all about having a beer.
There is a lot of beer being consumed, I can tell you that much.
Lamping on your mate every now and then. Perfect.
When we get the chance, the guys down here in Adelaide, we get a fleet of about 8 or 10, and we do a midweek sail and a debrief over a frothy. In fact, there you go. I can see an OK rolling down the path now, going out for a train. So.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's Freddie Phillips. Fun. Freddie Phillips is down there for the Masters in the lasers. He's probably taken his boat down to practice.
He might have. I have bumped into a couple of people.
In between laser events.
Yeah, I have bumped into a couple of people going, when are you going to go sailing? Well, I'm going to Brisbane to do the OK. Well, I'll be there, or I know someone who's going to be there. So
I'm using this as a training event.
I'm using this as, well, I'll be using, I don't know. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to going. I kind of said I won't go a little. I told myself I might not go the other day, and I thought, you know what? If I don't go, I'll just come back to here and do clean up and stuff, and that can wait for a bit.
Write reports.
We got to get back into club racing. The week that was, the weekend after we had a club championship heat, and get back to normal life again. It will be normal, but it'll never be normal again, if you know what I mean. It's going to be.
That's a good point.
A bit different.
Have you sort of had time to sit down, cross your arms on your chest, have a coffee, and go, I did this. I've pulled this off.
Yes? Not yet. I'm still the expectant father. I'm still wondering what. Again, Malcolm Hughes, our vice commodore, is just eminently wise. He said, regattas like this and every day are a continual problem-solving opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, that is what it is. It's every day there's something different. Every day there's another little tweak that needs to be done, or, someone's got an issue, or, from silly little things. And none of our problems have been big, right? None of them have been big at all. So, if it's someone parking their car in the wrong spot, gee whiz, that's when you cross your arms and go, that ain't a big problem. But I will sit back and stop and think about it. And I don't know.
You deserve to.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's big team effort.
Yeah. But before we get, now that Boyce has just stepped away from the mic for a sec, I can ask this question. I was just thinking, you're heading up to Queensland for the OK Worlds.
Yeah.
Do you, when you go away to regatta, being a Commodore of Adelaide Sailing Club, and, is there a secret Commodore's sort of thing that goes on when you turn up to another
Commodore's Guild?
Yeah, the little guild, and you get special treatment, you'll get towed out to
handshake,
secret handshake.
A little tap on the bum,
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of high five.
Afternoon. Yeah, it's I wish. I wish I had preferential treatment.
The reason
I only get the number one car park because I'm the first bastard here in the morning. That's the issue. People say you always get the good car park. Well, if you get here when I get here, you can have it.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying because John Warlow is now Commodore at RQ.
Right.
Who's one of the world's...
I remember John.
Yeah. One of
his Etchell days.
Down to earth, good man. So I figure if anyone's going to tap you on the back and give you special Commodore love, it'll be Warlow. So
I don't want Commodore love. I just want to be absorbed into a racing fleet and a regatta and just be a number. It'll be
black. Get a fake moustache.
Yeah. Well, I've got my white shoes ready to go. But no, there's no secret handshake. I wish there was, because I would cash in on it every time. But no, there isn't. We're all just volunteers. We're all just doing our turn for our club or our whoever association. And you do your best. You leave it better than you found it. You hope and you work towards that. And it's not a hard job. It's just a job.
How's your hourly rate going, Royle?
I gave myself gave myself 100% increase this year. So
got another t-shirt.
Yeah, 0 plus 0 is still zero, I reckon. So, all good. It's been a privilege to do what I've been doing. It really has been.
Just a final serious one, mate. Because you're taking on such a big event, do you get a lot of support from the class association? Like, if you were an organising or a club thinking about doing it, like, do you get support, or you have to build the whole model yourself?
So the class association nationally is pretty strong.
Yeah.
It's not as strong in South Australia as obviously the National Association and the State Association would like it to be. This has been a good opportunity. There's been more people getting into the class. You see this with every regatta or every class. The numbers swell around the big time, and then they dwindle a bit. But the State Association they're a small band of true believers. And they've been really, really helpful. They've been running the chaotic, and they're doing it today, the chaotic measuring processes or inspection, I should say. That's a well-oiled machine. There's only 10 moving parts on these boats, and they're more worried about the spacing between the sail numbers than they are anything else, but they still have to go through the process. They've been really, really helpful in that space. The National Association, we obviously have been working with them. If it wasn't for them, they came to us. The president of ILCA came to us 3 years ago. Now he has an international role with ILCA as well, but he came to us and said, this is an opportunity coming. Do you want it? And we said, give us a month and we'll get back to you. And that's that month we spent getting into the government and testing the waters there. And once we had that locked in, it was probably 2 months, we had that locked in. Yes was the answer. Let's get on with it. So they've been very supportive. They are, particularly the masters, they're a bit of a cult, if that makes sense. They just love going to regattas, and they just turn up and bring their boats, or they charter a boat internationally and bring their sails, and they just go out and have fun. And it's a different level of fun. This isn't sheep stations like the last regatta, but it is sheep stations in their age categories, and it is sheep stations because,
mutton stations.
Yeah. There might be a few old rams out there.
No lambs.
No yearlings at all.
Definitely a couple of lambs out there.
They just love it. It's amazing to watch the love of the class, the simplicity and the complexity of the class. That's counterintuitive, but these guys just love what they do. I'm really going to we just enjoy watching the masters because this is a cult. This is a cultural thing. And it just happens to be sailing, and they just happen to get here together. And it's great that it's a Worlds, because we've got internationals come in from all over the planet as well to be part of it. So both associations have been a good backbone, a good support for us. We've been working more with ILCA International, of course, with the two world events, but certainly the Nationals in Oceania, that was more of an ILCA Australian-led event. But, we're the host, we take the running. Again, people, relationships, who do I call? How do I get my message across? What's the deal here? So, it's good. It's been great.
I've got one
standing.
final question for you, bud.
Is it a serious one, Jordan?
No,
100%.
No, I've got that. I've got the serious one at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll do a summary.
Because I'm waiting for the serious one. I'm answering seriously. Please don't get me wrong. But
any spare boats for the Masters? One Nicholas Bice sitting there with nothing to do.
I reckon we could find you a boat, no problem. I know this bloke
Boise, get out there.
Ferdy's Eaglemeyer. He's got a yard full of the damn things. So there's plenty.
I've got a bit of gout in my knee at the minute.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
All right,
You're not old enough for gout.
My serious one.
Yep.
Do you think we'd ever stop calling them lasers?
Well, it's pretty hard when the L in ILCA is the word laser. So I think by default we call them lasers. We've been trying to be as appropriate as possible and call them ILCAs. The new ones have got ILCA on the sail, not the little, the red zapping thing. So they'll always be a laser. Let's be honest. They'll always be a laser. The State Laser Association is still called the Laser Association.
You will be pleased to know that the ratio laser versus ILCA, just in this discussion, we're sitting about 80-20 with ILCA. Actually, came home pretty strong.
That's because I've been brainwashed.
I'm going with the L word.
The L word, yeah.
Sport lasers, that's getting back up there. 70-30.
No, regardless of what they're called, they're a great little boat.
Aren't they?
The simplicity, the simplicity, the complexity, and the ability to pack up your sail and your tiller extension and go somewhere else on the planet, pick one up and race competitively it shouldn't be lost on anybody. It's really cool.
Yep,
really cool. And that's why they have the volume. That's why we're talking 250 competitors for this one, and because you just can, you know, you can just, it's affordable international sailing. So if hanging off the side of a,
that's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? Really, when you think about it.
So why'd you buy an OK then, mate?
They're a bit more comfortable. The cockpit's comfortable, and they've got a little padding on the deck.
Oh yeah.
So I know I've got enough padding in my bum, but and a little bit more padding. And I've perfected this thing in the OK. It's called power sitting.
Power sitting.
Yeah, power sitting. It's been around for a while.
Is that a little bit further out?
A little bit further out than sitting, but not hiking. That crossover point.
The good thing about it, you're always training.
Yeah. and that's why the poor results follow. It's great. It's really good fun.
All right, mate. Awesome
all right,
job.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time.
You've done the club proud. You've done the state proud.
Well done to you, and well done to Adelaide Sailing Club.
I appreciate it.
International listeners, if you ever get an opportunity, make sure you get down to Adelaide Sailing Club and have a look. It is well worth the look.
Or just Adelaide. How good is Adelaide for sailing?
Adelaide. I mean, best place in the world. Promote Adelaide, but But Adelaide Sailing Club, get down there, have a look.
And when I do stop back and look, it'll be one of the highlights will be this interview. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this call.
Wait till what you should do is get Jordan to send you a copy of it now and put it out over the loudspeaker at the club right now.
Well, and we won't advertise it as Brighton either. Like your last interview.
Right? How good was that? Gee, they got that confused, didn't they? I did it at Brighton Surf Lifesaving Club, so they thought, the seas at Brighton are going to be anyway. Any publicity is reasonable publicity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotta go,
mate. Love it.
Cheers, mate. Well done.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Cheers, Royle.
See you later. Bye.
Oh man, I feel for Pete. You know, we've known him for ages, and he's obviously doing a lot of work. But so are all the volunteers, and you know, congratulations to everyone down there doing that. And you know, what was a pretty cool regatta. Obviously, we were pretty happy with the result. But the interesting thing,
just a quick one, boys.
Yeah.
And having sat alongside Pete in the boardroom of the Adelaide Sailing Club when I was there, and by all means, I didn't have too much to do with what's going on here right now, but the vision Pete had, and it's I wouldn't say it's high risk, but the world's watching, right?
Yeah.
The world is watching.
The positivity and the team that he built, phenomenal. So I just want to give a decent shout out to Pete and just to let him know that the merch pack's in the mail, mate. Honest, mate.
and the yearly membership to Bar Karate subscription podcasts.
Correct.
But on another point, which we discussed very briefly, was the profile of sailing in general. It doesn't matter whether you're in Adelaide or if you're in bloody United Kingdom. The profile of sailing has always struggled, and this is something the governments don't understand. They think it's just like, you know, a couple of kids or a couple of wealthy people going bunching around on a yacht.
Not in the laser, the ILCA for that matter.
It doesn't matter. What this does is proves to the local governments that it's worth it. And if there's more of these type of attitudes in big events, I mean, it happens all around the world. There's world championships every year. But I think that everyone just needs to get behind it.
Yep. Hanji.
A rumour I have heard, this is just between you and me, boys, is a new CEO of a major event. So each state has a major events corporation. There's a new CEO coming into one of the states, is the rumour, and he is very pro-sailing and, in fact, wants to ramp it up. So maybe it's the wave, the time.
Genser, Mr. Genser.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's not you. Is it Victoria and his initials are
AM? Well, I don't know. He was spotted over in USA with Mr. Harkin yesterday. So he might be gone for good.
BP, one of the things, like talking about events, another event that is back and emerging for our Cuzzy Bros and all those who want to head over and see the Cuzzy Bros. And you went over and did it in your little, in the Radix sponsored Farex 2. the Bay of Islands Sailing Week. This sounds like it's a beautiful part of the world.
Well, I've always wanted to do this regatta, and whenever I hear anyone talking about the Bay of Islands Sailing Week, it's actually referred to as. I've always said, "Gee, I'd like to go and do that." Something about the name, Bay of Islands. You know, it's a bit like going out with the Whit Sundays or the Caribbean. So they've always said that it's a beautiful place to go. So anyway, got the opportunity. Obviously, we've got a Far X2 over there. Which is Radix Nutrition. Just funny that, really. Anyway, moving on. We went over. I took the family. I took the wife and the kids, and we made a bit of a vacation of it. And
God, you four would have been the 4 tallest people on the plane, wouldn't you?
Yeah, practically. Yeah. Well, no, that's another story. But listen. For the international listeners who either haven't been to New Zealand or are into doing an event, and I'm doing this plug because it was unbelievable. The sailing over there it's equivalent to anything we've got here in Australia and anything that the Caribbean's got. It's tropical sailing, island sailing, and it's glamour. Loved it.
Yeah,
loved
beautiful.
It. Loved
it. Loved the pics coming out of it too. BP.
Oh, there's more to come. Yeah. There's a few. We put a drone in the air on one of the days, and I did send out a teaser. But there's going to be a little bit of footage coming out of that. Which
drum up any business, BP?
Well, yes.
Funny you mention that.
Funny.
Drop the odd card around. Wrote my name on the back. Wrote your name on the back of a few coasters.
There could be a second Far X2 coming into New Zealand in September.
Oh, splendid. Well done.
So no, but look, it's and everyone's there. Bumped into Barkarati and one Moose Sanderson.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Friend of the show.
He was over there loving it, which I'd like to actually quickly say. This is another little hot off the press thing. And Moose, if you're listening, New Zealand 35s, NZ 35s, fast 35s.
I saw the banter this week of Moose.
There's a few names popped up.
There's plenty of things going on. For
sure. So let's look.
Moose, he drives classes, doesn't he? Once he gets involved.
He loves it. He
cherubs.
Loves it. Anyway, look,
35s.
Just to sort of move on, obviously we've got a bit of a time restriction here. Bay of Islands Sailing Week. Anyone interested in doing that, make sure you give it a good hard think because it's well worth it.
Yep. So it was 23 to 26 Jan. So it's the end of January. It's definitely on next year. It's going again, and it's now a building and strong event. At the same time as that was on Bice, you were in the beautiful Geelong, Corio Bay, roaming around in the Festival of Sails. You bought the orange boat out.
The mighty Geelong, correct. We took the SMB over. And for those that have done the regatta or know the regatta, it consists of a passage race pretty much from the northern end of Port Phillip Bay into Corio Bay. Well, into Geelong, basically.
That's a run.
And 30-odd miles. And, wouldn't you know it? Straight on the beak.
I was just going to say, Norm, probably going to be on the nose.
And wouldn't you know it, middle of summer, rain squalls, 30-plus knots. And I'll tell you, there's nothing better than going upwind in 30-plus knots in a TP52.
Jesus, wow. At least you only had 30
you made for some good pictures. Yes. And
the short chop of Port Phillip Bay.
I haven't done Geelong for quite a while, but it's actually a cool place, and it's the concept. That particular weekend, also the Cadell Evans.
I was going to say it's the
Great
Cadell
Ocean
Evans
Road Race.
It's the
bike race was on.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of activity going on, which is, something Harry Fisher and I have spoken, like combining a whole bunch of different events at the same time, takes it into something which is something epic. And the racing side, cool. It's I'd say it was a bit short, the regatta, but that was probably a byproduct of when Australia Day fell, because it was on the Friday, and we only had 2 days of racing. Really? First day, 3 windward lures, 20-plus knots on a TP. Yeah, that's
nice and easy.
Fun, just quietly.
So you didn't hit the nightclub that night?
Oh, hell no. But what I will say, though, the rest of the punters, and that is not derogatory at all, that's the people that make up our sport, like Catalina 312, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what sort of boat it is.
Just out there
sailing around the Corio Bay, 270 boats or something. It was spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So I'm a fan. I love it.
Yeah,
good regatta.
Righto,
regattas, lots of love.
Events around the world. It's time for you to bloody put your names up, and we can talk about it. So get in there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
But firstly, before we move, I know you put a post up, Jordan. The BP, Bay of Islands. I was doing Festival of Sales,
Yeah, what were you doing?
you were going to a secret spot. What do you got? Are you did you get a gig on Survivor or a gig on, My Love Island or MAFS or whatever it might be?
Bit of MAFS, bit of Married at First Sight.
Oh, by the way, we got to move on because we got an episode coming up.
I can't believe you're still on that program.
Well, here's the secret, boys. I'll reveal it. We received, and I've elected to spend it on myself, a major advance from a movie studio to film and to scout out locations and venues for Baccarati the movie.
Oh, imagine it.
What a load of shit.
Imagine it.
So
where'd you go? What did you find, mate?
Oh, well, I sent you a link, Bicey, because I know you're based in Auckland. I sent you a link to a beautiful beach and park in just north of Auckland, about 45 minutes up the road there. Can't pronounce it, so don't ask me. And, I found some good winery places, and I found some good dining places, but like Baccarat the movie, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
I've got $300,000 advance. I've got lots of locations I'm going to go and check out. Then I'll let you guys know.
I like it. All right. Well, get on that. Let's see how that goes. Idiot.
Yeah. No. It's just.
It's not 300,000, is it?
No, it's
You're
nothing.
wearing NZ.
The beautiful Jan, my mother-in-law, her special birthday had to.
Does a bloody good spag bowl too. Yeah. If you're listening.
So what have we got? We don't have $300,000 advance.
No,
we don't have a movie coming.
Yeah, but
we've got a bowl of spaghetti bolognese.
But Roy Disney listens. He'll be onto the phone now, so we're good. All right, so therefore, you boys obviously sailing the Radix Nutrition, mate. You saw a fair bit of that, obviously. I wonder, on board the X2, was there Radix?
Did you mung out on a few bars, a bit of protein, a bit of whatever it was?
The owner of the boat happens to be the owner of Radix Nutrition, so was actually staying at the house, and in the mornings, there I am, sitting on the balcony, munging on a Radix Nutrition, apple and cinnamon, version 9.
I like it.
Oh, loved it. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, it works.
I love it. Well, if you want to try it, listeners, of course, go to Radix Nutrition on their website and use Baccarati, one word, as the code for a discount on us, and enjoy it. Performance nutrition for every athlete out there.
Apple and cinnamon with milk. With light milk.
Ooh.
And I've got the new program going. It's light milk.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nice work. Well, boys, club events. I have to tell you, whilst I was in New Zealand, I'm wandering around. I remember you, Bicey, you said a few times the old Royal Akarana Yacht Club. It's just a fantastic facility, and I think with Jan and Ian had been towing us around, and we had some grand days, and I said to them, they said, what do you want to do today? And I said, I wouldn't mind going down to the Royal Akarana and just seeing what they've done. And, of course, bumped into one of all the people. I'm just wandering along with the in-laws and just standing there on the beach, Mr. Nick Crabtree.
Oh, there you go.
Was he walking sideways?
Mate, he's a great man, isn't he? He
is a beauty.
Such a good bloke. And he just came over, bantered away. My mother-in-law fell in love, I
think. Did she say, are you a professional sailor?
No, I'm a mud crab.
He can tell a story, and he was lots of information. But the thing that was, there was all the youngsters were going out, like the Green Fleets, were out going for a sail, and in their sort of, that little contained area, because they got that sort of barrier that keeps them in that contained area. But I noticed the marks that the kids were sailing around. One was a giant inflatable swan. The other one was a giant inflatable duck. And then the third one was a giant inflatable flamingo.
Why not?
That's good. I like that a lot.
Love it.
Yeah, no, it was good.
What's the course today, Dad? Well, you've got to go round the swan, round the flamingo, round the swan, round the flamingo, round the duck, round the swan, round the flamingo.
Yeah. No, she ain't no triangle sausage triangle. No. She's like you going to the zoo.
Gone on those days.
I loved it though. I thought it was cool. I just like
good.
different things.
Bring on the elephant and the rhinoceros and the.
You are right though, Bice. The facilities here, and how's the launch ramp? Like it's about a mile long. You know, you can launch forever. They could launch 1,000 boats in 1 minute. There, it's fantastic. So anyway, well done, Cuzzy Bros. Done nice job.
It's been a bit of a Cuzzy Bro session, hasn't it?
It has been. It has been. Yeah. I did notice the Zypher Nationals have been on over there in Littleton, which is where Sail GP is going to be in March. So the Naval Point Club in Littleton, Magazine Bay, beautiful. So hopefully, I've never seen a Zephyr up close, but there you go.
Yes, I've seen the Zephyrs, and it's kind of like the what do you say, single-handed.
Rainbow,
bit of an old man's laser, let's say.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of the crew that are behind it. So yeah, but it's very strong.
Yeah, I think that's one land. You've got to keep these old classes. I reckon there's a lot of passion in these classes, so we've got to publicise them as much as possible. I reckon it can't just be Optis, 470s, 29s, 49. It's got to be everything. All the home built jobs, all the different things that get people out of bed.
And speaking of old man Matty Mitchell, took it out by the way.
Oh.
So, absolutely, a bit of a legend of the sport. Well done to Matty.
Good on you, Matty Mitchell.
All right, boys. Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week.
This is big.
It's big. It's the
huge
Vycobi Listener of the Month.
You've called Listener of the Year already.
Well, it's going to be hard. I've got a question for you, boys. So obviously, Vycobi giving us a couple of $100 Aussie voucher each month to give away for a year, and very much love to Pat and the team at Vycobi for doing that. They make great products. They make great sailing gear. They got all the technical clothing that you need. Just jump onto their website and have a look. I just have to ask, is it possible for Pat to win the award?
Well, I see the correspondence back and forth to the listeners.
Yeah.
And to a few initiatives, let's say.
Yep.
So, yeah, why not? Let's give it to him.
It's probably a bit much, but look, I do want to say that one of our listeners of the month decided not to take the award. He wanted to convert it into giving it to a couple of youth to bring them into the sport.
Yeah.
And he wrote to Pat and Pat liaised with Pat and said, can we sort of do that? And mate. Not only was that no problems, Pat stepped up and put in a whole bunch more.
A bunch more into it as well.
Yeah. And so it's just two great blokes who care about the sport just overdoing the niceness, it was unreal. So I just got to say, the support, Pat's fantastic.
So Pat wins Listener of the Month.
No, he doesn't. We can't do that. But I just wanted to
mention. Good on you, Pat.
We did have a letter that was in a week and a half ago, so it fell into the series, and we published the video of it about a week and a half ago on the Facebook. Mm-hmm. You boys saw this one from Ben Crosby?
Yep.
BC.
Nice one,
good old Benno. Grozzy.
Big fan of the podcast. Thought you might enjoy this one. I'm a member of the Winnipesaukee. Is that? I reckon, let's say Winnipesaukee Yacht Club, Central New Hampshire in the States, Inland Lake Yacht Club, and home of Fleet 1 of J80s class. Currently have 14 active J80s, race Thursday nights. Here to host the North Americans.
Well, not this time of year, they wouldn't.
All member run, no paid staff, and as such, one of the most important duties in the club is to make sure the freezer is kept full of ice. This duty falls on the shoulders of the ice Commodore. Similar to the Vice Commodore, the Vice Commodore at our club is affectionately referred to as the Ice Commodore. And at annual general meeting, there's formal report given on the money jar in the freezer. This year they had a surplus of $200. And he also wrote that wintertime there, hard water activities now. So if we know we're fans of ice boating and the wingding, so we figured you'd probably love the hybrid. He's attached some pictures and videos below. A group of us using kite wings on ice in the winter. These have been around since the late 80s in their earliest form. Newest models have carbon fibre frames, can reach speeds of over 50 miles an hour, condition depending. We wear large homemade skates.
How good's the video?
giant slalom or downhill skis with large radius. Recently, more and more people have started using inflatable wings, but the top speeds of kite wings are still faster. It's an awesome sport. And the video is up on our Facebook page, and it is a dead set winner. It's awesome.
Got to be some of the coolest footage I've seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I loved it. Loved it. I don't know. Would you know?
Do you think you'd give it a go?
Yeah. I'd wear all the padding though, BP, because I know I go down pretty hard.
So Lycra with padding.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting one of those full. I'm
going to wear an ice hockey suit.
Armor.
Yeah.
I'm getting armor.
I'm going to wear an ice hockey goalie suit.
Yeah.
No, I'm going 1700s.
Oh, stainless
steel armor.
Oh no, forged steel. Forged steel.
Yeah,
you go through the ice,
fall through the ice.
Anyway,
you could get it made in the shape of your jibe angles. You know, just be able to move your arms.
I love it.
You can only go one way.
From the perspective of a letter, though, like it gave us everything, you know, because it gave us the great story, which is just hilarious. The ice Commodore, like that's going to stick. I guarantee that will go around the world, and there'll be the ice.
We've got Vice, and we've got ice.
Yeah,
we got all the ice.
And then the new sport and the video, and it was unreal. And like you know, it's to me at the moment that's email of the year, but for the month right now, it's for the month. And Ben Crosby, congratulations, mate. You're going to be
well done, Ben.
Ben Crosby,
congratulations.
Bloody awesome. I love it.
$200 by Kobe.
Oh, hang on.
No, wrong one.
I pushed the wrong button.
It's hot time with Bike.
I'm going to leave it in. You know I'm going to leave it in.
Well, gents, we haven't spoken about this yet since it's happened.
What's that?
But Liz Wardley, friend of the show,
absolutely,
has she just done the most unbelievable thing you can imagine?
She just
when we interviewed her episode 202 from memory, she told us about literally her new challenge was to row across the Atlantic,
which we all went, cool.
Basically, she's done it.
Wow.
She's
and in record time.
In record by 15 days.
It's nuts.
Mind
she did
you.
100 miles in one day, apparently.
15 days.
She's just a freak.
What an absolute legend.
Great. I mean, she's a huge, tall human being, so rowing's perfectly suited to her.
It's the arm span she's got. She's just able to crank on those
But,
rows.
I mean, I don't think you could give enough credit for such a feat.
It is pretty amazing.
45 days, I think it was.
Okay.
At sea, and now seeing all the other different teams and doubles and different individuals coming in, she's had an absolute blinder. We need to get Liz back on the show just to talk us through it. I mean, the physical side is one thing, the mental side. Oh, geez, that must have been tough. She went through it a bit.
Yeah.
Well, she had a little teddy bear mate with her. So it would have been
That's
fine.
right. Exactly. But it'll be
fine.
good to kind of hear about that. So we're definitely going to get Liz back on the show.
Well done, Bicey. Great point.
And on to my next favourite event. Oh, geez, the brisket's been going for bloody. Brisket's been going for weeks. No one's popped in yet, but they've popped in everywhere else.
They went and caught up with
the ILCA Old Team Challenge. We've had a few drop-ins. Sadebo dropped into
caught up with Stuart Gray down there.
Yep. Put his stuff in the loft. Bank Pop popped in. Bank Pop, I thought they were going to pop into Auckland, but I've just seen he's popped out the other side now. So no, the brisket Armel, the brisket wasn't on in Auckland.
No.
But carry on, my friend. And then of course, friend of the show, Charles.
He's just nailing it.
You're on fire.
3,500 miles ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think basically of 6 boats, 5 of them have had, there's 5 boats, so 4 of them, there were 6 boats, 5 have had stops. Yeah. And Charles is just charging, Charles in charge.
Charles in charge.
Absolutely charging. So 8,000 miles to go to the finish.
The unfortunate part for a couple of them is UFOs as such. Floating objects, which is always a problem, isn't it?
But this is my concern for them heading up the Atlantic again. But I mean, what if you got 1, 2? So on the leeward float, you've got obviously the big four. You've got the rudder with the elevator on it. Then you've got the stingray on the main float, the main hull, and then the little rudder there as well. So,
you're all over it, aren't you?
Yeah. So
there's plenty of appendages, you reckon?
We don't see any damage, and hopefully Charles can take it out and get a record to boot. So.
He is like he is.
Do you think
well
you're sailing along? Do you think you're sailing? I mean, we've all done this stuff, and we've all been sailing. We all know what it's like out there. Do you think you're sailing along when you're on your own at Point Nemo, doing 40 knots on a 100-footer, going, "Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen?" I mean, it's just
Charles is just cruising along. We're Subon.
He's got to be. I mean, his record is outstanding.
Just hanging out in his thermals, loving life.
I mean, he is the man, isn't he? He really is the man.
Yeah.
He's just unstoppable in the middle of the ocean. So it's incredible. Great work. He's got about a 3,000 mile lead at the moment. So
3.5.
Yeah,
So.
right.
That's
Unreal.
good.
Cool.
And then one bit kind of close to your heart here, Jordan, the Brisbane to Gladstone. A recent announcement, big investment happened. Talk us through it.
Okay, so Brisbane to Gladstone for the punters. It's a yacht race from Brisbane to Gladstone every year. It's 20 knots in warm water, warm wind, downwind. Just put the kite up, jibe
Except
it.
last year.
Yep. You come out on starboard, sail up to the top of Fraser, jibe onto port into Gladstone, except for last year. Therefore, it's 1 in 20. The 1 in 20 years happened last year, so you're good. You've got another 20 years of relaxed, fun sailing, so get your boat up. But the interesting thing is the event's sponsored by the Gladstone Ports Corporation, and they've put in another 300,000 over the next 5 years. So
that should pay your commentary wage, mate.
Is that the money
that's
300 grand? That's where the money's going to the movie.
How good are you?
Jesus Christ, you're overlapping it. God.
No,
Sport and gents, you're a legend.
It's happening. It's happening. So So
what are the dates?
It starts on Easter Friday. It's every year. So it's over Easter. It's the Easter weekend.
You've got to get next to into that, BP.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking to get a rainbow into it. I'm going to make a call tonight.
Oh, the X2, it would be so suited to this event. Like it's
I'm going to do that, and then the Pack Cup.
Imagine having a rainbow in that race.
Oh,
and awesome. Weet-Bix, friend of the show, your co-commentator Grant. He's an old rainbow man from way back as well.
Weet-Bix.
He'd love it. Yeah. Grant Cooper.
Anyone with the name Weet-Bix,
I love it.
Yeah, Grant Cooper, he'd love it. He'd love it. Yeah.
So at 308 nautical mile race, it starts just off Redcliffe for the viewers who want to come along and have a look. It's on Good Friday. Great way to spend the day. But if you are racing, just reach out and let us know, because it is the live stream, as the boys have alluded. I will be doing the commentary for that. And we're going to fully get behind it, because obviously, on the banter of the most important races on the calendar, I have a view. Bicey has a view.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it.
What else you got?
No, that's me, boys.
Well done, Bicey.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks very much, BP.
Oh,
that's okay.
IQ Falls, boys.
Very good.
Yeah,
nice
the World's
comment.
just finished. So
yes,
congratulations to Nicola Renner, who took out the men's, and then to Sharon Cantor over Emma Wilson in the women's. There's a couple of good tight battles right through that fleet. Obviously, Parel Tarnowski was second in the men's, and then Luke van Opzeeland from the Netherlands.
From New.
Yeah. And then obviously Gray Morris.
This is worth a chat, isn't it? I mean, this is a young kid that's taken this on, and we've had him on.
Yep.
Fourth
working
in the
his
world.
way out the leaderboard.
Fourth in the world.
Reverse Kirsten.
No, he hasn't used it yet.
Okay, he's holding on to it for the Olympics.
Holding on to the reverse curse.
Holding on to the reverse. It's in his back pocket. He goes sailing with it every day, but doesn't use it. But fourth in the world. I mean, come on. in a class that we're all new at. I mean, they're fantastic effort.
Yeah, I love it. I do want to mention quickly Katie Spychikov from Israel. So 2 Israeli ladies in first and third.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So just wanted to make sure we mentioned that. So well done, IQ Falling, huge event, and big one. The other big thing I thought I'd just quickly mention before we sort of disappear, boss, and on the back end of it, all the dates for the Cup have been announced now. So the Louis Vuitton build-up is underway. So all the preliminary regattas, first one 22nd to 25 August 24. The round robins start 29 August and finish 8 September. The semis 14 to 19 September. And the Louis Vuitton Cup finals, 26 September, which is a famous date, if you remember back to 1983, to the 5th of October, so one day short of my birthday. And then we roll into the...
Which is a famous date, if
of
you
course.
Look back to 1965.
No, that's not the year.
I don't know, I just guessed.
Yeah. And we roll into the Cup on the 12th to the 21st of October. It's getting close, boys. It's getting close.
Getting close.
I'm pumped.
Certainly is.
I'm pumped.
Not close enough to book tickets yet, though. We'll sort that out about a day before.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, the barge is on its way over.
Yeah, good. You're shipping it.
GAC Pinder.
GAC Pinder.
Because Ineos, I think Ineos have signed GAC Pinder as their logistics transport, not realising that.
Imagine what that line item that comes through the invoice. Barcarati barge.
I saw Ben the other day at the bar, and I think next time I see him, he'll go, "What are you doing, you bastard?"
Got to love the Barcarati barge.
But no, I love the GAC Pinder boys for sneaking it through onto the Ineos Ineos tab. I love it.
It's going to be there. It's going to be a mark of the course.
I love it.
It's going to be us there sitting with an esky and a lounge, not nice big lounge chair.
Going to be good. And the odd kangaroo. Cool. All right, lads. Time to go.
Right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Righto.
It's a great week. We've got some great guests lined up coming up in the next few weeks. Yeah. Boy, have we got some. We've been doing some hard work.
Celebration of life.
Block.
Celebration of life, I have to say.
Yeah, we're going to need to get the Radix on board just so we can survive the energy that we need to put into it.
The energy levels required.
Maximum output.
Yeah, and remember, if you do want some of the Radix...
performance through health.
Radix Nutrition, use Barcarati as the discount code and you're away. Love it.
Yeah. Nice, boys.
See you, everyone.
Well done.
Farewell.
Go, Boise, go.
Going. I'm going. I can't press stop till we stop, though.